I spent 6 years as a corporate finance analyst, managing thousands and millions of budgets. In the corporate world, if a company is bleeding money, we find the leak in minutes. But in our personal lives, we let these leaks run for decades. Most people think that they are broke because they are not earning enough. But after auditing thousands of rows of data, I realized that it's rarely the big spends that are ruining your financial budget, financial habits. It's the 5 silent habits that even the high earners fall for. So today I will be showing you how to audit your life like a pro. Habit number 1, the unallocated surplus. In FP&A, we have a rule. If money doesn't have a name, it disappears. And we call this a budget slack. The habit that you want to change. The habit is you pay your bills and you buy your groceries and you think that I have $400 left over, but you leave it in your checking account. And why it keeps you broke? Because psychologically, if you see it, you spend it. But in a corporation, that $400 would be moved to a specific capital expenditure or investment line item immediately. The prefix that you want to incorporate is give every dollar a name even before the month starts. If it's not for a bill payment, it's for asset building. Move it out of your sight the day you get paid. Habit number 2 is ignoring the burn rate. Companies don't just look at what they spend today, they look at their burn rate. They look at their burn rate and how fast they consume cash relative to their goals. The habit is focusing on price instead of frequency. You think it's just a $15 subscription or it's just a $10 lunch. And why it keeps you broke is these are fixed costs that eat your margin. If your personal burn rate is 95% of your income, you are one emergency away from bankruptcy. No matter how much you earn, the prefix that you want to incorporate will be you need to audit your recurring fixed costs once in a quarter. If an expense doesn't provide a return of life, then you need to cut the item in line. Habit number 3 is status-driven CapEx, capital expenditure. In finance, CapEx is when a company buys equipment to grow. But many people buy equipment just to look like they're growing or they have achieved, feel like they have reached a certain level of financial level, feel like they have reached a certain level of financial threshold. And why this habit keeps you poor? Because this is a lifestyle creep masquerading as progress. I've seen CEOs with 500,000 salary. I've seen certain CEOs with 500,000 salaries and they are poorer than their managers just because of their status assets. Because the status assets are actually their massive liabilities. The prefix is wait 6 months after a raise before changing your lifestyle. Prove you can manage the new revenue before you increase your operating expenses. Habit number 4 is the variance blindness. The biggest part of my job in FP&A was variance analysis, looking at why we spent more than planned. The habit is that saying this month was an exception. A wedding, a car repair, a holiday, there is always an exception. For example, a wedding, a car repair, or a holiday. And why it keeps you broke? If every month you have exception, and that's not a mistake, it's your lifestyle. It's definitely your lifestyle. You're ignoring the data. The prefix is create a buffer line item. If you don't budget for exception, you are not budgeting at all. Habit number 5, solving stress with revenue. And this is the most dangerous one, and it's pure psychology. The habit is thinking, I'll stop saving when I earn $20,000 more. And why it keeps you broke? Because money is a magnifier. Because if you have bad habits at $50,000, you'll be having catastrophic habits at even $150,000 revenue as well. And I saw this in corporate departments all the time. Giving a failing department more money just created a bigger failure. The pro tip that you want to incorporate is fix the system, not the salary, so that you'll be ready when the growth comes. So that you'll be ready when the growth and more revenue comes. The math of money is actually really simple, but it's the psychology where we are losing the game. And if you realize today that your habits are the problem, Please don't be discouraged because even the bigger companies have to restructure sometimes. But gaining knowledge is just the halfway of the battle because you need to know which rules to follow. That's why you should watch this video next, where I break down I read 40 books and what I learned from them. I'll see you there.